Okay, hello everyone, Meanspeed here with another video. This is actually going to be the first one of many, hopefully, that I'm going to do with my new setup, basically. I've got some stuff sorted now. Should be able to hopefully get some live stuff going, like I said in the last video. But yeah, this is going to be something different. So last year I did the 10-year retrospective, of Battlefield Heroes, because the game had hit 10 years old. And now, this is just a random idea I decided to have. I've technically been playing the game, or I've had an account on the game. I've been involved with the game in some way for 10 years. Found an old screenshot. The image quality is pretty terrible. You can see I must have done this with a camera or something. I obviously didn't know what I was doing. It's an old screenshot or image, guys. Just give me a break. But yeah, this was from the 6th of September 2010. This is pretty much one of the oldest kind of things I've got that sort of says when I made my account, kind of, because I mean, you'd assume that when you used VP for the first time, it would have been very early on into you playing the game. So let's assume I did make an account on that day. It's now been 10 years since I was introduced to this game, and yeah, so just thought it'd be cool just to look back on some old stuff, old screenshots of mine, old things, talk about things, stories, maybe look back at some old videos, react to some of those, because that'll be nice. Not cringy at all. But yeah, so yeah, obviously from the start, I mean, this game, honestly, I mean, you guys obviously know this, I've made it very obvious over the years. Probably my favourite PC game that I've ever played. Battlefield Heroes was the very first free-to-play game I ever played. Obviously, that was kind of a new thing. BFH was actually an experiment by EA in the kind of free-to-play, I guess, shooter market. Yeah, so it was just basically the whole thing was an experiment, and I played a lot of this experiment. So yeah, the first thing you got here, 450 VP, yeah, on this tank buster. So let's assume this was, when I first made the hero, my Royal Gunner, all those years ago. So yeah, backstory: I found out about this game because of my brother. He saw a video about it on YouTube, actually, and then we all just sort of like got into the game that way, so that was cool. Did actually have a friend in real life who did actually play the closed beta, and we did talk a lot, obviously, during like our educational years and stuff like that, but we never really brought up BFH until actually a lot later, when he found out I made videos on it. And yeah, it was kind of like, well, we were talking all this time about different things. Never BFH came up in conversation, but I could have, if we'd have been talking about it back then, I probably would have joined a lot earlier. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Maybe I would have been like those people that kind of rage quit when they made the VP changes. Maybe I would have been one of those people and never went back to the game again if I'd have joined that early. So you never know. But yeah, I've got some stuff here as well, like some other old things that I bought with VP. Yeah, just like different weapons and stuff, widgets, all that kind of stuff. And I've got this weird screenshot. It's not from my own account. I'm trying to think. I think it was someone called Red Wolf PT, someone like that. Yeah, basically they had this really old screenshot. Actually, no, it's not. It was actually from a video of theirs, I think. And this got screenshotted. It was basically, this was the earliest footage of me in a game. So I thought that was pretty cool. You can see me here, obviously, being really nice in the chat. I'm assuming there was a new basher in the game. That's why I was saying that. But yeah, back in the day, I'm not going to say I don't ever get angry at games and stuff, because everyone does. Everyone's human, But back in the day, when I was very new to this game, I would, I'm not going to lie, did get, kind of agitated in the chat from time to time. And, the obvious reasons for that were because you're new to the game and you've got a lot of high-level players, or just people that have made alts, or just people that maybe are new but they've still got an edge in some way. So they've bought certain weapons already, etc. And I'm assuming in this screenshot I'm completely default. It looks like I am, but yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool just to have that there. Yeah, so basically, like, BFH is my first ever PC game, really. Like, I'd played other stuff on like various websites where you can play like flash games and, you know, stuff like that, but never like an actual proper game that you've got to go and download. You know, so yeah, it was pretty cool. I was more of like a console gamer myself early on. But yeah, BFH sort of introduced me to PC gaming as well, so I've got BFH to thank for that as well. Yeah, and obviously never really took a massive break from the game. There was one time where I was kind of like not like ever hating the game or disliking it too much, but there was a time when I took a short break, but it wasn't really like anything really, you know. I was back within like a month or so, I think. So yeah, pretty much like a long staying player, you know, through the good, through the bad. Obviously I missed, you know, the first kind of crazy year, but I was still there for some of the bigger years of the game, and when it was like at its peak in terms of popularity. So yeah, got like 2 General C's, which was pretty cool. First level 30 took me a while. It took me about, I'm trying to think, almost a year actually, to get my first level 30. Because I think I must have like either not played as much straight away or just kind of spread out across different heroes. But yeah, got a screenshot here. This is actually custom made. I want to say my friend Pazlite made it for me, but I could be wrong. Yeah, this is basically what my rank would have been if they sort of added up all the ranks on your account. So yeah, obviously those 2 General C's helped with that. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I thought that was nice. What else? Let's see. Can I bring up some old... Let's see if I can get some old videos here just to look through, because that's always a nice thing to do. But yeah, yeah, on and off, you know, played the game a hell of a lot. I was pretty high up on the leaderboards on my main gunner. Not like that says much or means much, because obviously anyone can earn points in a game, you know, but it's just like another thing to say that you played a lot and kind of cared and stuff. Alright, Battlefield Heroes Gunner gameplay. This was from the 16th of October 2010. So yeah, I'm level 15 here. This is going to be great. I mean, you can already see the quality, guys. It's amazing. I do remember actually we had like a really terrible computer. This is what I mean by I wasn't like a PC gamer or anything. And BFH was never really like, it was meant to be easier to run on, you know, crappy kind of lower end PCs and stuff. But yeah, didn't really like do many PC games and stuff. So yeah, the computer was pretty crap. Could barely run BFH at times. But yeah, right there, that guy, he just completely destroyed me. I ran straight forward at him. Didn't use my RPG. I don't even think I used an ability there. And yeah, here's another thing, right? I'm going to try and remember things as we go through here. So you can see I've already got an outfit at level 15, which is pretty insane that I already put enough into, oh god, the wave, the face cam, move the camera up and wave. That's cool, man. Yeah, so I mean, you can already see the frame rate's kind of dying a bit here, and this is sped up as well. So I mean, I might try and like change it up a bit in the editing process. But yeah, fun fact: when I was very new to the game, as you can see here, this is what I mean by very new. I believed that the most expensive a weapon was basically the best, the strongest it was. The stronger it was, the more expensive it was. So I have in my possession here 2 of the most expensive machine guns that the game ever had, at least up to that point. The Tier 1 Elite M249, which was, you know, it came with a bundle actually, so that was kind of cheaper. But the second machine gun, which I'm using the most, is the Pilford PKM. And honestly, this quality, man, oh my god, it's just... Like, you can tell with some weapons it doesn't look too bad, but when you see someone bringing out the RPG and it's just so blocky like that, man, it's just terrible. You know, awful stuff. Yeah, I basically thought the PKM, the Pilford one, because it was the most expensive machine gun at that time, it was basically the best machine gun in the game. So, obviously, that meant I had to use it in every range. And as you can see, it doesn't really work out too well. But yeah, that was... That was it. That was the round, I guess. yeah, very fun packed. It was only, that video was only 2 minutes 20. Yeah, no comments apart from one guy saying first, and that wasn't even like around the time that was uploaded. Got a few here that are private, so we're going to go ahead and sort of maybe, I'm going to look through those as well, but we will see obviously how it goes. Oh, okay, let's go to this one first. Battlefield Heroes killing Enstyrikos. Right, so if you guys don't know, Enstyrikos, at least at this point, was number 1 on the leaderboards, and me as a very, very avid player, very young, level 17 here, I was like, oh my god, General C, what does that mean? Oh my god, this guy's insane. And I get this really cheesy kill on him, like miss most of my shots, get like 2 shots on him. He's on his own, basically, he's quite low, trying to cap the rocket or whatever, or trying to stay on the rocket. And there you go, there's me just sort of hiding behind the wall, just killing him, doing a wave, and I'm just sort of like stood there at the end, maybe celebrating or something. I've got no idea, guys, but yeah, that was a younger me, let's just put it that way. Yeah, what else we got here? Killing Obelix AC. Okay, so Obelix AC, similar story to Enstyrikos. He was like 3rd on the leaderboard as well for a long time. He was also a national soldier. Kind of like, you know, not that good, you know, is kind of an understatement. But this is ridiculous, man. Like, I got I mean, the first kill was pretty cheesy, but this one was terrible. Like, I got an airborne assault on him with a fast machine gun. I basically sprayed him. Only one of them managed to hit him, luckily. He was that low anyway, and then he died, and I had to emote him, and then this commando just came out from nowhere. I don't know what he's holding, but yeah, and he killed me. So that was the thing, like, back in the day, when you were new to this, it was like, you know, oh my god, this guy's General C, like, it was crazy, because nowadays, like, I play BFH still, obviously, as you guys know, I'm still going to make videos on it, duh, but you see people that are General C now, and people that are going for ranks, and I'm like, I don't care. I really couldn't care less. You know, I'm past that. I've been there, done that. But back in the olden days, you know, in the original game, that was pretty crazy. Like in 2010, 2011, to see someone that was General C, because it was actually at that point quite a rare thing to see. It was quite, you know, pretty difficult to get there. You had to play a lot. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. What else we got? What else we got? I'm trying to see here. Oh god, here we go. Right, Battlefield Heroes new pet peacock gameplay. All right, so this one, I'm trying to think. Larvitar presents. Yeah, so you can see the amazing work that went into my editing here. I'm still not like doing much with editing, but Jesus Christ, peacock gameplay. So yeah, this is basically me in the tutorial with the peacock, just like kind of showing it off, because this was when it was very new. But the thing is, you could assume that I'd modded this because I'm in the tutorial. But no, you'd think that, but you'd be wrong. I actually did buy this. This was the first kind of like crazy major purchase I made in the game. You know, bought the peacock and stuff. And yeah, it was pretty expensive. It was quite a lot of funds, honestly. Battle funds, that is. Back in the day, battle funds. But yeah, it's just me sort of like, I mean, I'm just like, it's not even gameplay. I'm just sort of like spamming emotes in the tutorial, just like messing about, trying to showcase this bird, you know. And yeah, it did actually get a lot of dislikes. I do remember this quite well. There were a lot of dislikes because people were like, why would you buy that? And I can understand, you know, especially if you were like a freeloader and you didn't want to put too much into the game, why would this guy do this? But I was just, you know, I was into it, man. I liked the idea of having something that was kind of rare, but for the different, you know, for a different reason. It was rare because no one wanted to buy it, not because it was kind of hard to receive in a widget drop or whatever. So yeah, if I'm going down the list here, got some other stuff here. Battlefield Heroes Pistol got level 30. So this was my brother recording this. This was a really old recording. My brother recorded it for me because I was actually in a different location playing the game, but I didn't have any recording software where I was. So I asked him to record this for me. But it's kind of stupid because I could have hit any level at that point, you know? I mean, I know my rank's pretty high, but I could have hit any level. I could have used shotguns to get that rank pretty high early on. And it's like, you know, you're going to care a bit well, you're going to care more if you're getting it from the player's perspective of them leveling up. But there we go. I apparently hit 30 there. I do remember that as well. It was a cool moment. I think that was my second level 30, I believe. Didn't have a national gunner by that point. But yeah, and you can see my brother kind of like going a bit crazy in the chat, and a few other people were like, well done and stuff, which is nice. Again, that's another thing that these days doesn't really get sort of much attention, like, oh, I hit level 30 and people just kind of don't say anything. But back then, again, it was a nice thing to have. It was cool. And I believe, you know, apart from commandos, I didn't really use much of an XP boost. So yeah, again, it was more of an achievement to sort of get there, more of a grind. So yeah, that's always a cool moment to get level 30. What else we got? I'm kind of skipping through some of the years here, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Let's see. I have a General C video somewhere. Probably help if I searched it, but I'm just going to go down this way because I'm lazy. Let's see. Because if you guys didn't know, I actually hit General C twice on the same hero. It was pretty ridiculous. So yeah, so I've got 2 General C videos. Let's just go on the first one. So my other brother's actually in this video as well. And you're going to see in some of these, like the fraps, because that's what it was back then, fraps. I haven't used it in years, but back then that was the thing to use. Maybe I should try it. Maybe I might not get these problems I'm getting with NVIDIA Shadowplay. But yeah, my brother's on the Jeep. He dies. And I got General C by shooting a Jeep. That looks suspicious, doesn't it? But no, it wasn't like that. It just happened to be the person was there. And so I'm getting excited because this was like a massive moment for me in the game. And then, look, problem with connection. Nice. So yeah, everyone got kicked. The server died literally as I got General C, so that was just perfect timing. It's like someone planned it or whatever. So because of that, I actually reverted back to Lieutenant General C and had to do it all over again. Although it wasn't really, I wasn't far off from it, obviously. It's one more rank away, for God's sake. But yeah, it was pretty weird to have that happen. And obviously redid it, got another recording of it and stuff. It was pretty random, but yeah. And over the years, just did some stuff here on my other national, well, my national gunner, where I got to General C on that as well, using dual short range shotguns, different progress videos on that. What else? Okay, just random stuff here. Yeah, just I used to do weapon tests as well, because those were cool to do when there was actually something that was new and not a reskin. You know, it had different mechanics to it and stuff. It was cool to do that. Yeah. So honestly, to this day, guys, it's weird, you know, to me that I've been playing this game for so long, and it's been like I don't say integral, but it's been like a part of my gaming life for so long. Pretty crazy, but yeah, you know, I remember so many things about this game, like even to this day, like instances and random things that some people would say to me, like, why the hell do you remember that? Why do you care? And stuff. And it's like, well, I just do, you know, this game's important to me, you know, this is still one of my favourite games of all time. And yeah, it's pretty weird to say I've been playing it for 10 years. I mean, technically, you know, we had that year when the game wasn't playable. Obviously, you know, halfway into 2015 it went down, and then it's like, oh, okay, what do we do now? And then 2016 was a complete like nothingness for BFH, and then 2017 came along, you know, we got Revive Heroes and all that, and here we are now, up to where we're at now, up to this point, you know. And it's crazy to me the game's still playable, you know. I don't say this all the time, but like when you fundamentally just like step back and look at it, you're like, wow, like I can still play this game. So I was actually looking back at some old footage as well. Could probably put it up here while I'm talking, of Battlefield Heroes, my Battlefield Heroes closing footage video. And there's also another one that's got like 200,000 views called Last Minute on BFH. That was pretty cool. Yeah, it's just weird to look at that and then think, well, you can still play the game. It's ridiculous, really. Like it's crazy to me to think that it's still possible. And yeah, I know, like it's nowhere near as popular as it used to be. But the bottom line is, BFH is just one of those, I don't know, it's weird. It doesn't get a lot of exposure is the main thing, really. And obviously the fact that it's kind of like an unofficial, you know, reboot of it, or just like revival of it, you know, there's not a lot of attention on it. But obviously, maybe, hopefully at some point, there can be more attention put on it, and we can go back to, I don't want to say like the olden days for real, because there are people I completely understand. You know, you move on in life. People that have obviously long since left. People that people from the forums I can list names off. People from different chats I've been in, like different groups, different sites and forums, and external things, Discord groups. People just that you randomly met in game and spoke to off like the same old sort of server that you bookmarked, or that you were like a VIP on or whatever, or staff. Loads of people just left, and you move on with life. It's like a lot of things. So I don't think it'll ever truly go back to what it was, but it would be cool for it to still garner more players than it's getting now. But yeah, I'm still playing to this day, still wanting to make videos on it, still wanting to talk about it. I've always said, like, if the game had never returned, I'd probably still... So let's say BFH never returned, even up to this point, I would still probably be, uploading here and there, like, some old footage, or just bringing the game up in conversation from time to time. Don't really know what I'd be making videos on. Maybe something similar to BFH. Yeah, I don't know. Never really had to think about that, thankfully, because the game came back... a lot quicker than, I don't say a lot quicker, well, we didn't even hope or expect it to come back at all, but it came back pretty quickly. But yeah, just like, I don't know what else to say really. Like, it was cool for me to just randomly think about this and look back on some old stuff. I know this hasn't been like a really long video or anything, but yeah, that's all that was at my fingertips really, like the old purchase history, to sort of get an idea of when I made my account. Looking back on some of these old kind of cringy things. I mean, like, seriously, the aiming is an obvious, like, terrible thing. But I mean, you just look at other things like the video quality, the game like settings and stuff. Everything just screams like noob, But yeah, so yeah, it's like I said, pretty surreal. I can't really think of many other games that I've been this like involved with and into and sort of stuck with for all this time, apart from like Pokemon. But obviously Pokemon sort of evolves like over the years anyway. You kind of have a new thing to sort of do with it. BFH is pretty much the same old thing, but I just keep coming back to it. It's a very unique game. Just I haven't really seen many other games like it. Obviously I look at some games, there's Fortnite, there's Loadout, or I think Loadout is gone now. It might just only be on console, I'm not sure. Some similarities there. Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, I've had a lot of fun on that as well, but still, like, none of these games give you the same vibe. BFH is just so unique. So yeah, nice to be talking about this still to this day. Pretty cool to have... I rushed through some of this, but this has been completely impromptu. I mean, there's a lot of other things I could go over, but we'd be here too long, guys. But yeah. So yeah, cool to have been a part of this game for so long now. Yeah, so I'm just rambling at this point. Let's hope in the future I'm going to be able to make some more like live stuff and different ideas and stuff like that. Maybe even streams at some point. Not going to make any promises, but it would be cool. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, it was cool to look back on this stuff. Pretty crazy again, like 10 years of this game. Would have been cool to have been here from the very, very beginning, but maybe these things have happened for a reason. Like I said, maybe if I'd have started from the beginning, I would have been like some of those that gave up on it straight away when they made certain changes. But yeah, so that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.